Hi everyone, welcome back to SAVE. Today we will be presenting on knowing your rights. So we're going to start with what is sexual assault. The term sexual assault means any non-consensual sexual act prescribed by federal, tribal, or state law, including when the victim lacks capacity to consent. This is from the Department of Justice. So now we're wondering, what is rape? The FBI defines rape as penetration, no matter how slight, of the vagina or anus with any body part or object, or oral penetration by a sex organ of another person without consent of the victim. So now we're going to look at what is sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature constitutes sexual harassment. This is from the HR Guide. So now we're going to look at legal rights. So our first right is the Sexual Assault Survivors' Rights Act. This includes receiving a forensic medical examination at no cost, having a sexual evidence collection kit preserved for the maximum statute of limitations, receiving written notification prior to destruction of rape kits, and to be informed of rights and policies. So we also have the SAFER Act, which supports efforts to audit, test, and reduce the backlog of DNA evidence in sexual assault cases and bring perpetrators to justice. Now Title IX, which prohibits the discrimination on the basis of sex by educational institutions that receive federal funding. So the Victims of Crimes Act, or VOCA, helps victims deal with tangible costs of surviving a crime, such as medical bills, counseling services, and lost wages. Now the Debbie Smith Act, which intends to eliminate the backlog of untested and unanalyzed DNA evidence by providing the resources to process evidence and add these samples to the National DNA Database. Moving on to the Clery Act. The Clery Act requires greater transparency and timely warnings from colleges and universities about crimes that are committed on campus, including crimes of sexual violence. And finally, we have the Campus Save Act, which amends the Clery Act to increase transparency requirements for colleges, guarantee rights for survivors, establish disciplinary proceedings, and require education programs. So those are the legal rights of a victim survivor of sexual assault. So now we want to give you guys some resources. The National Sexual Assault Violence Resources Center. This provides resources for all national, states, and territories. So there's this link. You can go and look them up there if you want to visit that. So to find help, there's a national network of community-based rape crisis centers with centers available in every state and territory. The centers exist across the United States to provide supportive services to victims of sexual assault. While the specific services may vary by location, services are confidential and may include advocacy, accompaniment during medical exams and law enforcement interviews, education, follow-up services, and referrals to other resources. Every state and territory has an organization designated to coordinate the activities of rape crisis efforts and represent the state or territory in its coalition. There's also the directory of the organizations. So here you can look up any of whatever state you're in and the organization type, and you can find somewhere to go. There's also this directory of victim survivor organizations to find support after a sexual assault. And then we also have the National Sexual Assault Telephone Hotline. So you can call this number if you need help. And the number you see is listed here. And you'll be rerouted to a local RAIN affiliate organization based on the first 6 digits of your phone number. And you have the option to enter the zip code of your current location to more accurately locate the nearest sexual assault service provider. The number is 1-800-656-HOPE. And there's 24/7 help on this hotline. So we hope that this video provided you with some resources, and now we're going into your rights. So the victims of crimes have rights that depend on the laws of the location where the crime occurred. Some laws might apply to you. The person committed the crime or sexual assault against you include availability of a forensic exam at no cost, confidential access to victim advocates, time limits or statutes of limitation on reporting a sexual assault to the police, mandated reporting of the assault if you are a vulnerable person, which is a child or elder or adult, confidential communication with service providers, testing or shortage of evidence kits, possible financial compensation for you as a crime victim. So there is a state law database in order to look up the specific laws, the statutes of limitation for specific sex crimes in the state that you live. Where you live does make a difference on these laws, so you want to look up your state or your zip code here to find out what the laws are in your state. So now we have SAVE. This is us. So SAVE is here for you. You can email us at researchbysave@gmail.com for help with reporting and sexual assault violence. And we also now have a Healing from Trauma Corner Facebook group to connect others with a safe space. So if you have been a victim survivor of a sexual assault and want to have a group of people just to communicate with, we now have a Facebook group in order to do that. So in order to join, you can either email us or message us on Instagram and we can add you to that group. So thank you for watching this video. We hope that you got some good insight into your rights as a victim survivor of a sexual assault. And as always, feel free to message us with any questions that you have, any comments, or anything else that you want us to present on. Thank you.